Hello, my name is Terry McVenes. I'm honored to serve as the President and CEO of RTCA. At RTCA, we're very proud of our rich history, having served the aviation community with distinction and effectiveness since 1935, with a focus on our leadership in the aviation industry. By continuing to evolve our organization for some of the new and emerging trends in aviation that we are experiencing, we're excited to expand our associations with government and industry partners so that we can best serve the entire aviation community. Today, I'm pleased to have with me a good friend, a longtime associate of mine, and a member of the RTCA Advisory Board, serving as the Director of ATM Infrastructure at the International Air Transport Association, Mr. Carlos Cirilo. Thanks, Carlos, for joining us today.
Thank you, Terry, for the opportunity. It's always a pleasure to be part of this great initiative.
Well, thanks. Obviously, this last year and a half has presented our industry various challenging situations, and certainly the airlines have been severely impacted by this unprecedented situation. And certainly international travel has probably suffered the most. I know IATA has introduced several measures to help facilitate more flights, and I know you've been involved with a few of the standardization activities in this respect. Can you elaborate on some of those activities for us, please?
Definitely, Terry. And as I mentioned, this has been very challenging times for our members and for the whole aviation industry as a whole. If you go back 1 year and a half, where we are today, and then we start having the issues with COVID, the restrictions coming, and the first thing we saw was it was very difficult to get access to information. The information was also not harmonized around the globe. You can imagine like having to plan a flight to go around where states they were not aligned at that time. There was no guidance, and they were closing airports. It was not clear if you can go, if the crew can go, if you have cargo. It was a really mayhem, if I say so. So the first thing we did was to, together with ICAO, to start from the basics on the basic information like the NOTAM system, to make sure that at least states, when they promulgate something, they do in the same way. So at least we knew where we can go and where we cannot go. And from that, we went to the measures like what we call the biosafety measures at the airports. We still have most of them in place, and RTCA was fundamental in one of those. Especially on something that it looks very simple and obvious, like the cleaning and the sanitization. But it was a struggle for our members because also we have different level of cleaning, different products, timing was not harmonized, was not standardized. And ICAO, even with the trying to put things together, we can discuss later about the ICAO cart and all the elements that ICAO put together. But RTCA was able in a short period of time, together with ROK, to come with a global standard that we can use. And this really save time, money, and also resource. And all this to put together, it just helped the industry as a whole. So there are we put together more than 30 different guidance materials that are available on our website, but I would like to focus on those that really made a difference.
As you see governments now starting to open up a little bit more to help, get more travel internationally across the globe, what do you think it's going to take to get us back to those pre-COVID-19 levels of operations?
Yeah, we have an economics team that they have been doing forecasts and analysis, and doing forecasts these days like a very challenging situation, if I say so. We expect, if everything goes as planned and we don't have any new variants and and we will opening gradually the borders that by 2024, 25 will be internationally to the levels that we are in 2019. So we still have a long way ahead of us. If you look on where we are on international traffic, we are barely 30% where we are in 2019. Of course, it's not the same on US domestic, it's not the same in Europe. But as an example, very recently in China, they were like 105%. So they really came back, and then we got the Delta variant. Now, traffic in China is at 50% what it was in 2019. So I hope this is not a comeback, but we still have a long way to go.
Yeah. You mentioned ICAO, and I know you work very closely with ICAO with your boots on the ground there in Montreal. As ICAO continues to not only work through the current crisis, but beyond that, what role do you see for standards development organizations such as RTCA to assist ICAO with their role of meeting some of the demands of new technologies that are coming to the market right now?
Yeah. And that's, I would say, it's not only with the new challenges we are faced with COVID, but because of COVID as well, and then we see the new entrants coming to the industry, like you mentioned, we need to be much more agile. And the ICAO, it has a role. It's very clear, but the process is, I would say, it's long. It takes easily 5 years. We start thinking of something now as it started to be ready and promulgated and ready to be used. We can't live with that anymore. The industries that they're coming, the drone industry, commercial space operation, they are much more agile. They need standards to be, especially the technical standards, if I may say so. Mm-hmm. They need a different, I would say, environment. And that's where I think, and I'm sure, RTCA can play a significant role. We have done that in the past. ICAO had in their annexes made reference to RTCA standards. And I believe this is going to be something that we will need to improve more. ICAO will have to rely much more on organizations like RTCA, because you are more agile. You are close to the technical arena, and that will not only add, I would say, more relevance to ICAO, but also ensure that one thing that we need to have is global harmonization.
Right. And we maintain a very close collaborative role with EuroK, which is our sister organization in Europe. Are there some things that maybe both RTCA and EuroK together can help assist government and industry with towards a sustainable recovery?
I'm sure that it is. And if you look at today as well, I was mentioning, if you see the way the industry is recovering, especially in US and Europe, and you see the both industry, the role they play in aviation as a whole, they are I would say, or it comes from Europe or it comes from the US. Most of the new regulations, the new systems that are being implemented, they come from one side of the Atlantic. And that's the reality. We have the two leaders. If you look at, for example, in my area, the ATM per se, we have the two major ATM transformational programs, CESAR and NextGen, how much they bring into the table. And that's what I believe that the RTCA and EuroK working together would do this support for global harmonization.
Great. Excellent, Carlos. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all that you and your team have done to support RTCA over the years, and certainly for your valuable role on our advisory board. I've been speaking today with Mr. Carlos Cirilo he's the Director of ATM Infrastructure at the International Air Transport Association in Montreal. If you are interested in learning more about our standards development work, or if you have any questions about our training, or are interested in becoming a member of the RTCA family so that you too can have a voice in developing aviation standards, please contact us directly through our website at www.rtca.org, or you can always give us a phone call. Thank you for listening.